Oh, hello there. I didn't notice you over there. Hi, I'm Taika Waititi.
I'm Stephen Merchant.
And we're here to break down a scene for my new film, Jojo Rabbit. This is
Notes on a Scene.
Is Notes on a Scene.
On a Scene.
Notes on a Scene. The genesis of this project started back in 2010 when I read a book called Caging Skies by Christine Lernens and told the poignant story of a young boy growing up in Nazi Germany during that Second World War. He discovers that his mother is hiding a young girl in his attic. I felt it's very necessary to keep reminding ourselves that the events of World War II and also basically all wars are something that need to be avoided at all costs. And if we stop telling these stories, there's a danger that we'll forget the events of World War II, and there's another deeper danger that some of those things may repeat themselves.
My initial reaction reading the script was, oh, here we go, yet another boy in his imaginary Hitler script. How many of these have I read? But, you know, this one seemed to have a surprisingly fresh take on that well-worn story. And at some point, every tall Englishman is asked to play a Nazi in a film. And I was holding out for the big bucks. Didn't get them with this project.
I got them.
Not even sure I got paid. So we're about to watch a scene in which my character, who's a Gestapo agent, Captain Diertz, enters the home of Jojo Rabbit in his spooky, sneaky, scary Gestapo way.
Heil Hitler.
There's the money shot.
There he is. There's the big man right there.
Steve.
Money man. I wanted to bring something in to sort of disrupt the relationship between Jojo and Elsa. I thought, what better way than to have their home raided by the Gestapo? There's Jojo.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Captain Hermann Diertz of the Falkenhayn Gestapo. With me, Herr Muller, Herr Juncker, Herr Klump, and Herr Frosch. May we come in? Thank you so much. Heil Hitler.
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 It's always a challenge making a film that has a mixture of comedy and drama. But I test my films all the time with audiences, and then I go and adjust the film, and I maybe bring the jokes down over here and bring something, a bit of pathos up, and it's about just sort of testing it again and again until you feel like there's a tonal balance that where it's not making light of these serious subject matter. And it's not just like a full-on drama. And you do want that, you want that in a film. You want tension, you want conflict, and you want an audience to worry for the characters and to feel like the stakes are pretty high. I always wondered, do they have to Heil Hitler every time they went into a room? It seems like they had to do it all the time.
Right.
And it just felt like it would have just taken ages for them to do anything.
Always,
especially if it was a group of like 30 of them.
Yeah.
And they turn up and they're like, quick, we've got to go do that thing. Hang on. Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. And I feel like it's something that Monty Python probably would have done if they did a sketch full of Gestapo officers. And then they get to work. They go in there and they start tearing the place apart and looking for information. So this film was shot by Mihai Malimar. He's a fantastic Romanian cinematographer, and so he's responsible for just how great the film looks, and coupled with this wonderful production design. Well, I wanted to show that they had a bit of money. Often in these films, it's the circumstances are very grim. And just from doing research, Germany at the time was a very, very colourful place. The Germans were very into the latest trends and fashions and textiles and designs. The facade, in Germany is like all this colourful a celebration of what they think is, them moving into the future and this bright future, when really behind that facade everything is crumbling and falling apart.
Hey, Jojo! Hey, guys! Good to see you.
Here comes Sam Rockwell.
My bicycle got a flat tire, so I carried it.
Captain Klenzendorf. Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Hi, Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Hi, Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Hi, Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Hi, Hitler.
We're not doing anything, we're just watching this movie. I'm fascinated by this. This is really good. So here you'll notice that they say Heil Hitler. I think it's a record maybe.
Oh.
31 times in 1 minute.
Congratulations. Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Everyone else
you're
has said
welcome.
congratulations. And the point of having all those Heil Hitlers, apart from, I think, being quite a funny moment, is also to just to again point out just how ridiculous Nazis were, because they were so obsessed with these rules that they had created for themselves, which I think were rules that I think quite soon after they created them, I bet they were like, oh no, why did we invent this stupid thing? That's what I like to think about Hitler. Soon after he adopted that moustache, he decided he didn't want it, but then he was known for it and he couldn't get rid of it.
That's of course it, yeah. Do you think he experimented with other ones prior to that? Yes. He perhaps had the kind of large classic handlebar, maybe the sort of...
He would have had like that, sort of, like that.
Yep.
And then like that. He would have had that, and then he would have, and then also this one time I heard he grew his moustache so long that it went around the back of his head.
Wow.
And then up on the top, and this was all moustache.
That was all moustache.
It was all moustache, and then tied it into a little bow like that.
Yeah.
And he was very proud of that, and then also the moustache he split it off like that. He split
into eyebrows.
Into eyebrows.
Yeah.
And then connected them there.
But I understand it was because it was quite an operation every morning when he woke up.
Oh yeah, just to tie that into a bow, and he had to.
So that's why in the end he just
braid it.
Simple.
You know what? I'm just going to have a really tiny little one beneath my nostrils that looks like two furry black slugs have crawled out of my nose.
You know, Freddie Finkel.
Hi, Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
So usually I do not storyboard. But actually, you know what? I think I probably storyboarded this one because there were so many people. But then I got bored of drawing so many people in a tiny little rectangle.
Is that why later in the movie there's just much fewer people?
Yeah, that's right. It's because I don't like drawing storyboards.
So you decided there would only be 2 people in every scene. Smart.
So, did I miss anything?
No, we were just Heil Hitlering the boy, and then Heil Hitlering yourself, and then, of course, Heil Hitlering Freddie Finkel, and now we're in the midst of a routine inspection.
So we're talking about Sam's eye here. He's got a dead eye, or I don't think it's a glass eye, it's a dead eye. Oh shoot, I'm sort of sprayed this everywhere, sorry. But that's quite nice, isn't it? 2 little pink dots on Alfie. I'm going to make him a bit more of a polka dot guy. I think it's actually quite in keeping with his character.
This is a wonderful insight into the filmmaking process.
Back to Sam's eye, we had to find a reason for him not to be forced to the front lines to be fighting, And I thought, well, maybe he's missing a leg. That'd be a good reason to not have to go and fight, or an arm. I still don't trust that trick when you stick your arm behind your back. Yeah. I don't know if that looks real. And so I just thought, well, let's just have him missing an eye, and that's the story behind that eye. Now let's see what happens to these dots when I press play again. Oh, now it's just on the wall.
And you've highlighted my nose.
Okay.
And what brings you here, Captain?
Oh, we were just passing by and we thought we'd drop off some pamphlets for the boy. He works for us.
Well, there's a good example of me using my height for comic effect.
Classic dominant stare down, which you're very well known for. Looking down with those piercing... Oh, you just did it to me then.
It was important to me in this scene that, despite the fact we were... Please, pay attention. This is important for young filmmakers. It was important to me that this character's both kind of buffoonish, but also quite intimidating. I think it was more just about the sort of style of delivery being conversational, because I think...
Well, there's a danger, isn't there? Because I was worried that it's going to... it's like a typical Gestapo scene. But what's really disarming and what makes your character even creepier, the fact that he is so sort of casual.
Well, in my mind, these men who were in the Gestapo were often quite petty bureaucrats who probably were not terribly well-respected people. They'd have been perhaps bank managers or accountants. Nothing wrong with bank managers and accountants. I'm not suggesting they're all Nazis.
They're not Nazis.
No, but I'm just saying these were probably just regular people that suddenly got given this station and they had the power of life and death over people. They weren't actually doing any of the atrocity themselves. They were just sort of allowing it to occur. And that makes them all the more despicable and all the more abhorrent because they're sort of weak, pathetic people, but they've got this little badge that gives them enormous power.
Exactly.
If you recall in this scene, I was already, as I'm freakishly tall, I'm taller than everybody who's ever worked with me, and then you stuck me on a box to make me even taller.
I did do
so I'm
that.
actually stood on a box there.
This is Sam's ear. That's where you spend all the money when you work with Sam Rockwell.
On the ears.
On the left ear. And that's why you'll see in many of the shots in the film, it's just from this angle on him.
$10. $106. $106.
$106 for that ear.
Oh, you know how it is. Every day we take a call. Hello, is that the Gestapo? I believe there's a communist hiding behind my fridge. We go around to investigate. It's just some mold. So not far off. It's all part of the job.
I think it fits into a long tradition of movies that have used humour to satirize Hitler. that date back into the 40s itself, when Hitler was still in power, whether it be Chaplin's The Great Dictator, To Be or Not to Be, Ernest Lubitsch film, obviously famously Mel Brooks in the 60s. It seems strange to me that 80 years later, we're feeling ever so worried and that suddenly this subject can't be mocked. And again, the subject, the nonsense of Hitler's ideology and the kind of absurdity of those beliefs, which as soon as you poke holes in them or begin to question them, they kind of fall apart in your hands. And that's, I think, what you've dramatized with the little boy. As soon as he starts to question his beliefs, because there's finally someone that makes him do it, he realizes that they're sort of built on sand. And the idea that you can't sort of mock that as a theme or tear that apart seems weird to me.
Well, that's
and
right.
It actually offends me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me too. I've offended you.
No, I'm offended by people that think
No,
we can't
totally.
make films about this subject.
What irks me,
Yeah,
I love the word irk.
Yeah.
What irks me is people who say that comedy is not, it's not an effective tool, or it's not, something to be taken seriously as an art form. And it's one of the most powerful tools that we have to fight against, against oppression and bigotry and intolerance. And again, as you say, to poke holes and to make fun of, these belief systems and these people who promote hate.
Yeah, people like us who work in comedy, it's as though we're constantly being accused that we're not serious.
Yeah,
you
well,
can't deal with this subject because you won't treat it seriously. But we're some of the most serious people.
Right.
I know, I'm certainly very serious.
I am.
As you can tell from the tone of my voice right now.
And the way that you're staring at me like that.
Isn't that
I'm
quite
serious.
intimidating?
Look at me. I'm serious.
We're very serious people.
This is how I get serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious now.
I'm serious.
Yeah.